Hi everyone, it's Heidi from Joyful Artistry. Thank you for joining me today. I'm going to do book binding. I'm going to bind some of my small one signature journals for you today. I'm going to use a 3-hole pocket stitch. One where I'm going to show you how the tails come out the back and how the tails come out from the inside. So let's just get started. I'm going to set those off to the side. And oh, here's another example. That one's done. Here's my boy. I love him so much. Isn't he sweet? Boy and his dog. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to center my pages and make sure all of my pages are going in the correct direction. The direction that I would like them to go in. Sometimes music paper may end up upside down, depending on how many I'm doing at once. And here I'm mass making a few of these to have at my little booth. Let's see here. Just kind of sliding them back and forth. As you can tell, I've got music paper and lined paper and coffee stained paper, vellum. This is out of an old, I want to say 1900s magazine. A friend had given me some coffee stained pink paper and then just some Tim Holtz paper. I've already put pockets in the front and in the back of these. They're made out of paper bags. I'll end up putting embellishments throughout, but I just wanted to bind the book before I got too much farther in. Makes it easier for me. I don't lose track of where I'm going with it. If my pages are loose, I can lose track. So let me just get this. I'm going to pull my tie to me so that when I punch my hole in the center with my awl, I like to use this awl here. I'm not sure where this came from. I'm really not sure where I picked that up. These, Dollar Tree, oh my goodness. I think it's a package of 6 or 8. So I put my first hole in the center. I just guesstimate. After all, it is a junk journal and it doesn't have to be perfect. And then I go anywhere from 1/2 to 1 inch from the top down, and the same on the other side. And the first one we're going to have the tails coming from the inside. So I want to take my binding material. It's not really a thread. It kind of reminds me of what you might use for tatting, which is a intricate crocheted lace technique. This, I'm not sure because I got it at Goodwill near me, and there wasn't anything on the outside to tell me what it was. But what I did was I pulled on it to make sure it's not going to split or fray or break apart. Because I've done that before where I've bought some and not really tested to make sure it's what I wanted. And as I'm putting it together and tying off at the end, it's broken on me. So I learned to do that. So I'm going to go down the center, and then I'm going to make sure that the tail on the end of this is long enough to stick out here. I'm going to come through the top, and then I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom and through there. And then I'm going to come up through the center. And when I come up, I want to make sure that I have one string on either side of the center. So you're going to go down through the center, up through the top, down through the bottom, and then up through the middle. And make sure this is where I want it to be, and that's a really nice length for me. So I'm going to tie it nice and tight. You want to pull it so that this is nice and tight. We don't want any wiggly pages because that doesn't make your book comfortable to work with if your pages are sliding around. There we go. Just tie it off. Trim it to the same length. And look at that. We have our tails coming down here because I'm going to add some charms at the end to both of the books. Okay, let me just tie this guy off. Okay, and then we'll do this one here, this little pink one. Again, I want to make sure all of my pages are right where I want them to be, the direction I want them to be in. I want them to sort of be in the center. This is paper that I was wrapped around some of the things I purchased at a local store. Got advertisements, I've got music paper, vellum paper. This is great. There's music on one side, you can collage, and then right on the other side. Amazon paper. Book. This is adding machine tape, coffee stained pink paper, and then just a piece of scrapbooking paper to kind of just give it a little heft, you know, just make it a little bit sturdier as you're pulling into your book. And I just want to try to be a little bit centered. Doesn't have to be perfect. It is a junk journal. So we're going to clip this with these fun little pink clips like that. And again, I'm going to pull my ribbon here to the back. I'm going to do my center, just guesstimating. That's all you have to do. About 1/2 inch from the top and 1/2 inch from the bottom. Measure my string again. Whoops. 1, 2, 3. And I tend to make mine overly long, which is fine. I can use any of my scraps for other little projects. All right, so now we're going to start from the outside. So we're going to go in from the outside. And then we're going to go to the top, through the top. I like a nice long tail. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it this length or not. And then we're going to go into the bottom. Oh, sorry. Just want to be out of your view. And sometimes you have to wiggle because it'll move a bit. And then we're going to go down through the center. Okay. So again, we came up through the center, down through the top, up through the bottom, and then back through the center. And I want to make sure I have a string on either side, and I do not. So I'm just going to take this and I'm going to go under here like this so that I can tie it off nice and tight. So, oh, look at that. And I tie it 3 times. Trim it so it's nice and long, and then I'm going to decide what I want to do. If I want those to be short or long. Alrighty. I'm going to tie this so it's easier to work with. Okay. Okay, so we have these two, and I've already pulled out a few charms. So I thought, let me put this back. So I have 4 for each. I'm going to put 2 on each of the tails. Look at that. Actually, I think I will keep the pink with that because pull out the pink from here. So what I'll start with him first. And what I'm going to do is I am going to take one of these The way I'm going to divide this is I don't want two that are the same size on one. So I think I will do those two and then these two. So let's start with this, and all I'm going to do is hook. I'll put my thread through the hole and through this one. Then I am going to, I like to tie it up pretty close to the book if I can. I like it closed because there have been times that I've tied it up too close and it's inside the book, and that's not what I want. I want it to dangle outside of the book. Alrighty, let's just, okay. All right, I'm going to tie one more time. Oh, it feels awkward because I'm trying to do it so that you can see what I'm doing, and I'm not quite sure if my big old chunky fingers are in the way or not. And then I'm just going to trim it and leave a little tail there. And then I'm going to do these two. Put these on. And then I'm going to tie those as well. And get it up close to the book, but make sure it's not inside. And again. And then we're going to trim it. Leave a little tail because I like that look. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't that sweet? The little flower and star and leaf and the little pink tassel. Oh, I love that. Okay, so let's do this one. So I think I am going to let them dangle a bit. Try and get this in here. Oh goodness, there we go. So the heart and the star I'm going to put on one. This says love with a flower. And I think what I'm going to do is let this dangle a bit. And then I'll decide on the next one if I would like that one a little bit closer or a little farther away. Okay, let me put these two on. You know, I'm not crazy about the yellow. I'm going to grab a different color. My little tray here with all my fun things I like to use. With my danglies off my books. I think I would like to grab another pink. Oh yeah, I like this. I'm going to use the darker pink for this. I like that. It'll bring up some of the darker leaves in the flower on the cover. And then here's my little bird. See that? And these all these charms already have little rings attached to them. I like to make sure that the charm is on something that it can swivel and move. I just like the look of that better. So this one I did tie up a little bit closer. And look at that. Oh, look at how fun that is. And I might tie a little bit of, let me see if I have a piece of lace laying here. I should. My little desk. Let's see. little bit of white lace here. Sometimes I'll tie a little bit of something to see if it just gives it a little more dimension on the end here. So I will put it through my little spine on this side, and I'm going to do this side. Oop. You just pick it up a bit and slide it under so that I could tie this right around the knot. And of course this side came out. Oh, dang. Okay. Look at that. So then I'm just going to tie this once here. And then I'm going to try and fray a little bit because I like the look of that. The other side is already a little bit frayed. Oh, I love that. So it just gives a little bit more dimension, a little bit of a little more bulk, which I like, coming off the spine. There, I'm going to tie in a knot so it doesn't come undone. Oh, look at how adorable that is. Oh, I love that. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. And don't forget to subscribe and follow me. I'm on Instagram, Joyful Artistry by Heidi, and Facebook. Thank you for joining me, and see you soon.